YouTube. So I'm going to be talking about another deck I'm going to be kind of using for the meta in this format. And I'll be going over the side deck now. I do have 14 cards. I kind of sub in a different card normally. But one card in the extra deck isn't released to Duelist Alliance. So it's the Sky Blaster or whatever his name is. But for right now, I'll just show you what I have in here. Which we have free hysteric parties. Basically, this card just lets you blow up the field and call for game when you play it. Nothing else to say other than that. We have free Icarus attack. Icarus attack is pretty much a 2 for 2. You can even play pretty well to blow up an XYZ or something else and get a +1 off it. Now we have damage consider, which basically I play the Earthbound Immortal, the Condor in here, which I basically just have him in here so I can always get this card off. Or this card also helps with being able to play a monster, kind of have a Gorge effect, if that makes sense for you guys. Moon Dance Ritual, basically this makes it so the Harpie's pet Potasm Dragon can actually call game just on himself. And it's a good negate effect when your win XYZs have no materials. Which will actually combine much better when I have that new monster. Pike here, this basically will give one Harpie Lady 900 points for every Harpie in your graveyard. And I run a total of 9 different cards that can be treated for Harpie, so I can have a maximum of 7,200 attack points gained with this just one card. So if I play this card normally, I'm going for game or dealing massive damage. One Quill, this kind of just return my Cyber Harpies back to my deck and get rid of the opponent card. We have Phoenix Formation. Basically what this helps for is it's a Harpie card to be discarded for Chandler, and it's kind of a dark hole. And I will get into dark hole later. We have 2 hysteric signs. Basically, I have several cards that discard as you saw, and this would basically let me go +3 discarding, or I can play this, add a Elegant Egotist, and then have it get blown up next turn. 3 Elegant Egotist, good card. Kind of keeps your deck rolling, make sure you get it. 3 Hunting Grounds, basically that card that just replaces Harpie Feather Duster almost and blow up every card with a Harpie deck. Now we got Rikusa Ryu. I don't normally tribute summon him. Mainly what I do with him is, like I said, I use him for damage consider, the fact that he's a dark attribute, and that my opponent can't attack him, so it basically will force him to use a high power card like Dark Hole, 1 for 1 on game ready this weak monster, while I just peck him and get my resources back up. Summoner Monk basically lets me go for my Chandler or any other Harpie, and could, like I said, another discard for that other Hysteric Sign. Basically a special summon win attribute and the fact that it's a win beats kind of helps the fact that lets me easier summon 2 XYZs in my deck. Cockatoo basically gives me a special summon and ability to summon level 8 synchros. So that's pretty much what it does. Is it can basically the same thing as Gunder, except for it's for level 8 synchrons as well. Gale here, basically Gale that's just good dark monster that's pretty much can help you get over anything. Steam, kind of a defense, and it can recover itself, so it's pretty explosive a lot of times. We have Zipper, the Elite. Zipper basically helps you go for that O2K by dealing that extra 1,600 points. And since Steam requires a non-Blackwing tuner to be able to use her Synchron Summon, have to run Zipper. It's not like a bad card anyways. Dark Simone, basically by using the Dark Engine I can play this card, prevent my opponent from even having any card sets, and just kind of go for game with him. and he's a level 7, so he gives me a lot of different plays. One, Tempest just helps your deck roll, gives you those level 7 Exemes, a good easy beater that doesn't take any time to summon. Harpie's Pet Dragon, I only run one of it. Basically, you use it for Exemes, that's pretty much what it does. Don't use it for effect too often, which is kind of sad, but that's how the game goes. We have 2 pet baby dragons. Sometimes I pull off its effect. Normally when I do, I win. But a lot of times this card is pretty good in the sense that it's easy to play, doesn't cost us a lot, and it can become 24 and blow up a card if you play it right. 3 Channelers. Channeler just pretty much that card that it helps Harpie so much, speed up the deck very much. We got 3 Cyber Harpies, basically a good Harpie lady, nice attack points and all that. 3 Harpie Queens. Again, that I swear, I think Queen replaced Harpie Lady Sisters. I think if they wanted you to play Harpie Lady Sisters, all they had to do was change Phoenix Formation to allow you to use it just with Sisters. They did that, I think we'd be seeing Sisters be played. So now we're into extra deck. We have 1 Blackwing Armor Master. Pretty powerful card. Anyone who's seen this thing in action knows that. 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon. I have that field spell, so I can gain 1,000 life points, and the fact that it lets me recover, lets me set up my field. So that's kind of what Fairy does. Now we have Pixie here, which basically blows up a card and lets me draw when I play the field spell. So Pixie is also good. Crimson Blader just kind of shuts down a lot of plays for your opponents that are playing a level 5 or higher deck that needs to summon their monsters. Salt Ruler Archfiend, basically a dark attribute, and the fact that he lets you gain life points, so that kind of helps this deck's weakness a little bit. We have 1 Leo here, basically because you can play so many level 7s easy, and then you got those 2 level 3 Synchrones. Leo is actually pretty easy to play in this deck. Now we got 1 Ice Beat Zipper. Zipper basically negate all your opponent's face-up cards and gain 300 points, so it can pretty much get over mostly anything. 1 Plasm Dragon, basically new card that just kind of scares people as soon as he come out, since can't be targeted and anything. Only thing that really gets rid of them is like Mirror Force, and even that, not really an easy card to play against Harpies. Cowboy, does that burn damage, and he can help get over some monsters. Lightning Chidori, basically make your opponent top deck and gets rid of at least 2 cards when you play them. 1 Dire Wolf, basically a 1-for-1, gets rid of a card. And if you have some of your extra Harpies on, you can just blow up them and use the effect twice, which actually is pretty nice. Draco Sack, just a pretty powerful card. Big Eye, again, that is a powerful card. We already all know that. And number 74, basically a card that can't be targeted, or your opponent will go severely minus. Now we're going into the side deck. Now I have 2 Fury and Fever, which is basically to help the Harpies low attack points. So if I'm facing a deck like Evil Swarms, Dragon Rulers, or even Sedald or anything, this card just kind of allows my Harpies to get over their monsters. 2 Ghosts in the Grudge. This is basically the beat decks that try to play on a turbo build, like Light Swarm, Sedald, Boozin, so they get their full setup. 1 Sullen Nest. This is basically just to allow my deck a turbo ability to just go for an O2K. one mind control if I know my opponent playing level 4s as well, or level 7s. I will side this in, take their monsters, and use it for my own exchange or synchrones. One Darkhold. Now, this is the card I normally swap with Phoenix Formation, and I normally do that when I know my opponent is playing a very fast deck, and I don't have time to, and I'm going to have a hard time setting up with Phoenix Formation. Quill here, basically what Quill is for is if I need to recover more monsters and I need to, and I know my opponent likes playing a more stationary build, like with Monarchs again, or Angel Stationaries, Bootins, and all that. This card kind of counters them pretty well. Now, normally when you're playing a Harpie deck, they will side out their spells and trap cards, because they know Harpies just blow them all up anyways. So I have 2 Rising Air Currents here, which just gives them that 500 attack points, which actually does a huge difference a lot of times, and can make the difference between you winning and losing, and they don't really expect it because they already expect you to be blowing up that spell and trap cards. And that's sometimes their weakness in Harpie, is that what they expect, and that when they will play you, they'll actually get rid of their spells and traps. One Divine Wind, basically if I'm playing a deck that will try to return my monsters more, if I had seen some of their cards and they're going to be playing certain stuff like Gravekeeper's Spy, or stuff that or Compulse, I'll play this. Now we have 2 DD Crows. This basically helps to counter deck the fact that it's a wind beast, so it's for Icarus attack, and it's a dark. So I mean, it just combos in my deck very well. It really complements it. Now we have Windrose, the Elemental Lord, basically Harpie's Feather Duster once you get those 5 winds in your graveyard, and an easy play. So I basically would use this if I know my opponent will play tons of back row regardless. So that's the Harpie deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. And thank you, and I'll see you again. Bye.